Hi, I'm Kurt from Armour and welcome to Workshop Wednesday. This week, due to popular demand, we're going to be taking you through the progress that Daz and Jess have made so far on our JAGDPANTHER. We're going to be seeing the sides of the superstructure come together and watch Jess lose his mind as he does nothing but weld over the next 2 weeks. After that, Daz is going to take us through and show us a really interesting feature on one of these superstructure sides, and we'll wrap everything up by showing the ball mount for the machine gun being lowered into place. So sit back, relax and enjoy episode 7 of the JAGDPANTHER.
Full disclosure, things were a little crazy during the week of the assembly. Daz and Jess got to a point where they could not wait any longer and had to proceed in fitting the front and left-hand side of the superstructure. Shooting this series is really run and gun. We don't always have the luxury of time, and at the end of the day, getting the work done on the vehicles is the priority.
You're about a metre and a half.
The right side of the superstructure is the star of the show this week. We are so lucky to have this piece, as it's off a vehicle that actually saw service during World War II. Any parts that came off vehicles that saw service are incredibly rare. We decided to preserve the original key, as we didn't want to damage the piece any more than what we had to. There will be more than enough weld joining everything to hold the vehicle together.
There's a lump of weld there that's probably going to stop it. Remember, it's only on that bit there, we've got to be careful. There's a lump of weld here. I'll get a cold thing and see if I can knock it off. On that bottom there, this would be gone. Yeah. I want to put a wedge in the bottom over there first.
I'm going to go down more. Just hit it in a bit. Just hit that wedge in a little bit. I'll go down a little bit.
No matter how much time I spend here, those sledgehammer adjustments always make me jump. After a lot of shuffling, nudging and banging, the boys finally get the plate in. Jess has to tack everything in place while it's held perfectly in position. We received this side in several pieces which we had to repair. A lot of people have asked if we're going to fill in the pitting. If we give it a smooth finish, yes, it would look brand new, but all of that history would be covered over. This plate has gone through a 77-year journey, and we believe it adds real character to the whole exhibit with its pitting there for all the world to see. It's really starting to take shape now.
Well, I want to get some measurements and just see how close it is before.
If that was too much welding for you, then I'm afraid you're out of luck. Jesse proceeded to spend the next 2 weeks welding, and welding and welding. Nearly 8 kilometres of welding wire plus hundreds of sticks. If you thought that seemed arduous, well, he has to do it all over again, on the inside of the joins. Let's leave Jess for now and get to know a bit more about this side plate.
Well, what we have here is not a new old stock plate. It's a plate that came off a tank that was used during a battle and was battle damaged. All these fixing points are extremely helpful because as good as we can get pictures and that, you're still only just guessing or measuring off it. You can be out 20, 30 mil just by scaling, but having these actual mounting points that still show through, even though the plate's rusted, it's just fantastic that all those reference points are there. And that makes our job easier. There was one break, and then it was actually cut to get it here. We don't know who cut it. but we ended up, someone must have cut it to fit in the back of the ute or whatever. What we have up here is a real strange feature of this side plate. Looks like a round's come through from the other side, and then it looks like something's been shoved back in the hole to repair it, but we just can't work it out.
Wouldn't be just range damage?
Well, we don't believe this is a ranged piece because it's only one penetration, so we're assuming that was either knocked out during battle or blown apart by wreckers, and then the plate was too heavy to remove and it just sat in the ground where we got it from. I'm only guessing what they've done, but I assume they've just packed in some old bits of steel packer just to fill the hole as quickly as they could. Whether to get the tank back serviceable or not, we don't know. That's part of the history that's lost. But when you look at this, it just hasn't happened by itself. That's a big hunk of slag or really rough welding. There's definitely a machine piece there, could be a part of a bearing casing or something. And then there's another piece in there which we just don't know. But just, it's really strange. It's part of the history of this tank that we'll never know.
If you have a theory, tell us what you think. Write us a comment down below. Finally, Jess is going to fit the machine gun ball mount. We're not sure how much it weighs exactly, but between 150 and 200 kilos would be a conservative guess. Jess has to weld on a lifting lug. It may not seem like much, but a general rule is that 1 inch of weld will hold 1 ton. Regardless, he maintains a good distance away, just in case.
Yep, keep going. Keep tilting forward. I might just need to get the over. Is that all the way forward here? Down? Yeah, go down a little bit more. There's a bit of weld here.
There's a little bit of old weld keeping the mount from falling into place. It's easy to remove with the oxy.
Can we go down? There, Rod. That way. Oh, that other way. It looks pretty close. Looks pretty close to where it needs to be now.
How do you weld it in?
So it gets blocks wedged in the back, in the rear, and it's fully welded on the outside. So I'll have to make sure it's all square in that first, go around and knock those blocks in, those wedges, and then weld it all in. No, that's good. I'm happy with that.
Well, that's all we have time for today. If you have any theories as to the nature of this battle damage, we'd love to hear them in the comments. Liking, subscribing, and especially sharing is a great way to help support the channel and the work that we do here. Don't forget to tune in next Wednesday for your weekly tank restoration fix. So until then, I'm Kurt from Armour, and I'll see you on the next one.